Hey guys, Resurfing here. So on Friday with my mom, I went and saw the new Power Rangers movie. Very, very good in my opinion. Admittedly, I was always biased towards it, but it exceeded my expectations. It wasn't just a good Power Rangers movie, which was what I was expecting. It was a good movie. There's still the cheesiness that is Power Rangers in it, and but it also manages to take itself seriously and have heart at the same time, uh, which is a really impressive combination. And I'm going to try very hard to make this spoiler free. Because there's a major spoiler going around that just stay away from websites. um, every one of these kids has their own real life issues. This is something that was desperately needed in the original series. Like, I've watched the original series recently. They are bland. None of them really have to cope with anything. Uh, this one, they all have issues that kids have in real life. I'm not going to go into what those issues are. Some of them you probably already know from the trailers. Uh, but uh, they are all issues that I've seen in real life, one of which I've experienced myself. Um, though that one's less of an issue and more of how people deal with something. Uh, Zordon is much more rounded of a character. Uh, Elizabeth Banks' Rita Repulsa is, I think she might be the biggest part that makes this movie work. She actually feels like a legitimate threat as opposed to the Rita of the TV show. Sorry, I'm thinking, trying to say how I can say things without spoiling them. Um, I guess there's really not that much to say. It's a cheesy Power Rangers movie that takes itself seriously and has heart. I know it doesn't sound like that makes sense. It's cheesy and takes itself seriously, but it manages to do that. Uh, and it manages to do it in such a way that you will feel for these characters. Uh, I know one thing I wanted to mention is they try very hard to give every character their own screen time. Obviously, there's going to be some characters get a bit more just due to the nature of a movie, but it felt like they were pretty equal on footing. We have the usual Red Ranger's the leader thing, but even that didn't feel too much like how the show usually does it, where all you see is the Red Ranger. Uh, as expected, yeah, there's no possible way to mimic that Megazord's transformation in toy form. Not a chance. And you'll see what I mean when you see the movie. Well, no way to do it without ruining your toy anyway. May have actually given an explanation as to something that the wings can do, though. It really depends on how you view that. Um, this video is late because I went to a hockey game last night and that sucked. And this morning, I was trying to set these guys up behind here because I wanted them set up there. I really love these characters. Uh, this is probably my favorite Ranger team, period. That's with 20 something years of Power Rangers, 30, 40, I don't know, something years of Sentai. These are my favorite Ranger team. And that's saying a lot. Um, when I was at the theater, Billy turned out to be the standout for most of the people there. Uh, just right away, everyone just took to him right away. And that, yeah, My theater, everyone liked Billy. Uh, I'm sure it'll be different at different theaters. Uh, but yeah, I can. But Billy is my favorite for this team for sure. Uh, Alpha was actually really interesting as Alpha actually is important for once, rather than just kind of being the sidekick robot there. He's still the sidekick robot, but he actually does play more into the plot than you'd think. There is something really cheesy with the plot that I can't really go too much into. Just it's odd, but it works because it's Power Rangers. Um, but this is definitely something that I want to see more films of, and it looks like we might get that. It seems to be doing decent at the box office from what I've seen. Not Disney great, but not bad either. Uh, and I definitely do want to see more of these characters, especially since in a sequel we'll be able to get a bit more flesh out. And they did a good amount fleshing out their backstories as was, but there is still some stuff that I'd like to see more of. And I suspect in any sequels we'd be able to get that. There was something that was not used that I was disappointed wasn't used, but it wouldn't have fit into the story, and I understand why. Uh, it does still exist if you look close enough, but it's not something that, but something you'll notice is missing, basically. Um, so I can say some things that people were worried about. There are unmoored fighting scenes. The Zords actually do something on their own, which might be a first for for anything Power Rangers Super Sentai. I'm not sure. Uh, they definitely revised something to make it work out better. Something that the show ignored most of the time anyway. So yeah, they did revise something to make it work better, which but I can't say what that is. Um, but yeah, I know people were worried that the Zords were just going to be there for 2 seconds and form the Megazord. Don't worry about that. Trust me, do not worry about that at all. Uh, I am disappointed with the way Goldar is, but I understand why they did it this way, so it works. And there is something there that might save Goldar for me. It's hard to say. You'll see it if you're paying very close attention. But they did leave room open for sequels if they're able to make them, and I hope they do. I want to see more of this. Uh, yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's just I thought it was a good movie. It does have its problems at times. Part of that cheesiness I mentioned, uh, which is a bit cheesy even for Power Rangers, but I still enjoyed it overall. Even even that cheesiness works for the movie. It's not like it just takes away from the movie. It doesn't. That's the strange thing. And because I know people are going to ask, yes, they do play Go Go Power Rangers with the lyrics. Uh, that one I feel no problem spoiling. I will say, uh, where it's put, there's no reason it should fit, but it does. Like it doesn't fit at all, but it works, and it's really interesting. And the entire theater was singing it when it happened. So yeah. So yeah, that's basically my review, as spoiler free as I can possibly make it. Um, So thank you guys for watching. There will be an actual gameplay video up tonight. So I'll see you guys later and have a great time wherever you may be. Bye, guys.